Greetings and welcome everybody to the Dr. Jane Live on a Thursday, and today we're talking about adrenal fatigue, stress, how to charge our battery, why the battery goes flat, and some of the amazing 365 Healthy by Choice nutrients that we have that emit light, that charge our battery, and make sure that our mitochondria work 100% in order to emit light and create energy, ATP. So with that blast of an introduction, let's get right into it. This time of the year, particularly, people are feeling fatigued, have a bit of brain fog, concentration problems, working slower than usual, finding their energy low. And we need to have a look and see how we're going to reverse this so that we finish the year strong and enter the new year even stronger. There's some basic rules, basic facts, natural facts that are going to help. And then we can also always make use of some of these good nutrients. I'm just going to put this on airport mode because it keeps bothering us. So adrenal stress, fatigue, I'm not feeling 100%. We are a battery, and I've spoken about this quite a lot. So if you can imagine from your science classes where you have a beaker with 2 electrodes in it and 2 cables connected to a light bulb, and the more minerals you put into that beaker of water, the brighter the light shines. That's exactly us. All right, we've got a positive and a negative electrode. We're in a beaker of water, basically, and our light needs to shine. And when we start getting things like adrenal fatigue, tiredness, burnout, that really means that the minerals are nearly finished, weakened, diluted, and that the battery's flat. That creates more stress, and more stress means less hormones are released, the blood vessels constrict, the vessels get narrower, the less blood passes per minute, less oxygen per minute to the organs, and a little bit of an all fall down situation. And the body can cope with stress up to a point where the adrenaline and the cortisol keep pumping to a point, as I said, and then slowly the adrenal levels of adrenaline, levels of cortisol deplete, and when the body can no longer pump any of that around the body, that would be a burnout, nervous breakdown, in other words. So nobody wants to be anywhere near that. How are we going to restore our health and our function of our adrenals, which sit just on top of our kidneys? And as I say, end the year strong, so we go into the new year strong. It all depends on physics and science and nature. So by nature, we need light, we need electricity, and we need magnetism. And we get these from sunlight. So the photons that reach us, photon packages of energy that reach us from the sun, will charge our water. Once our water is charged, we can almost photosynthesize. The plants photosynthesize once the water in the plant is charged, similarly with us. And then we start being able to conduct our own electricity and charge our battery. So when the car's battery is flat, it doesn't switch on. When the cell phone battery is flat, it doesn't do anything. You can't use it. So number one with any body is to get that battery charged. And we do that with, as I said, sunlight charges our batteries. The water, electrons from the earth also come in and charge our body, recharge the battery. So the photons and the electrons come in. When we breathe oxygen, we're also breathing in nutrients. Oxygen is incredibly important for the ATP cycle because the oxygen will bind with the electrons to produce ATP, TTP, CTP, GTP. Talked about this a lot. And then when we've got energy, we've got life force, we've got neg entropy. We're living. We've got currency. And that's what it's all about. We then think clearly, live productively in all areas of our life. So when we are getting in the sun, absorbing the sunlight through our skin, absorbing the electrons through our feet, breathing, hydrating ourselves, clearing our mind, thinking good thoughts, being at peace and calmness, clearing our emotional baggage, those rocks in the rucksack on our back, generational patterns that are repeating. When we're clearing all of that and in our peace, what else can we do? So we don't need macronutrients at all. We need to just have a look at some micronutrients, and the rest of it is living for free because we have a charged battery. We will hopefully have an alkaline body and a body full of oxygen. If we've got that mixture happening, we A for away. The Ormus Gold is the first product I'm going to talk about, and I've talked about it many times. We had a big training session here today at the 365 Healthy by Choice Center in Bryanston, and I had some very eager practitioners wanting to learn more and more and more about my protocols and 365 Healthy by Choice nutrients. The Ormus Gold is an alchemical product which we make, which is M-state liquid, gold, silver, copper, nickel, platinum, palladium, 10 platinum precious metal minerals. This is a superconductor. It's a battery pack. It's in the foil because the electrons are so dense and move so fast that they actually come out of the bottle. And if I don't keep them in, they will just share their electrons amongst all the other bottles on the shelf. Now, Ormus Gold is the flagship of 365 Healthy by Choice because of its frequency, because of what it does. So this gold in itself is the highest detox metal element on the planet. And when you make the Ormus Gold, I have told you all, you get a peacock shimmer on the surface when it's ready. It's a levitational substance. Anything that's levitational has got electrons, and it's gonna charge the body. So silently and subtly, we've got Ormus Gold, which is going to charge that battery for us. It's a superconductor of electricity, a transducer, if you understand what I'm saying, if you understand physics. So that is our battery pack. And that's what we all need to be on. 1 tablespoon a day in the morning in a glass of water. The ancient wise people around the world have used this since measured time began. And the ancients actually would consume a glass of Ormus Gold and go up the mountains, receive the information, come down and share it with the tribe. That's how long ago Ormus was. And, it brings into effect the salt mines and the importance of the salt mines. And I'm going to leave the rest for you to Google, and you can look on my website. But just to say that Ormus Gold is a holistic substance. It's in the quantum state, M-state. And that means it's healing physically, neurologically, emotionally, and spiritually. So very, very amazing. Just checking that everyone's here. There we go. So that I would definitely put on my list to charge my batteries this time of the year. I would definitely do that. By the way, we also make an Ormus balm, which is a moisturizer. And a balm means embalmment. In other words, you would embalm with the balm. And we put the Ormus Gold into some noble oils. And imagine putting that on your skin. You feel encapsulated. And the energy that just starts to charge the body through the skin surface is unbelievable. And the softness of the skin is incredible as the cells start communicating. So that I use every day. The Ormus Gold I take every morning. And then we're gonna also charge the battery with some trace minerals. And some of these, So we're getting the gold, the silver, the copper, the nickel, the cobalt, the platinum, precious metal minerals. That's high level charge. Then we're also looking at items like shilajit. So this product is condensed plant matter it forms a resin inside the rock in the mountain, and they extract it out, and 85 minerals. So I prefer to go for holistic food state nutrients, micronutrients, and that are balanced. So shilajit's made by nature. It's got to be. It's full of intelligence. It's full of DNA. And that one brings in lots of energy and strength. Actually, the athletes love it, and the people recovering from illness especially. And then those who are wanting to just keep a regular energy level. You can also use Irish sea moss, 92 minerals. So that would be kelp-based, seawater-based. The shilajit is plant-based from the rocks, sediment in the rock. And we could also use, let's see here. So those are going to charge the battery. DMSO, plant tree sap, dimethyl sulfoxide, is a levitational product along with the Ormus. And that one will gather the nutrients from the roots and carry it up the tall tree right to the very top. That is plant tree sap, and there is Ormus inside DMSO. Anyway, all my products say Ormus Gold, but there's Ormus in here because of the levitational aspect. When we make Ormus Gold, it rises up off the surface. It's too beautiful. DMSO rises up as well. When you put it on your skin, it's warm, creates a warmth, just temporarily. Very, very amazing. So that's also, these products, when you look down the microscope, they're shining lights. And DMSO as well. And that's a solvent. It's going to dissolve things that shouldn't be in the body. And by doing that, recharge the battery and improve our immunity. So all of these things that are detoxifying are allowing the battery to recharge and the immunity to build up. And that, by implication, the genetics can restore. So the genetics, not only the RNA and the DNA in the nucleus, but in the mitochondria in particular. So we want that mitochondrial DNA and RNA to be at peak performance to produce our energy, our neg entropy. So we got these powerful natural nutrients already in our body, together with the sun and the earth and our oxygen that we're breathing, and water, which we're hydrating, because it's about water. And remember that mitochondria release the water. Doesn't matter how much we drink. If the chemical reaction is not happening in the mitochondria, we don't release the water, we can't use it. So the water goes into the fourth phase, the EZ water. And that's what our body is made up of. It's not made up of straight water that we drink. So there needs to be the chemical reaction to get it into the EZ form. We also have cell oxygen in a capsule form and in a drop form, even in a granule form. And I'm going to share with you a wonderful case study in a moment. I'm just building the story. So oxygen we can also bring in here to help charge the body and bring in energy. Very, very important. So this one has magnesium oxide. Magnesium we need to relax. Anyway, most people need magnesium, natural magnesium, and then the oxygen will go ahead and act as a from an oxidation point of view and clear the blood, clear the body. It just obliterates the free radicals, rendering all the particles inactive and available to use by the body. So very, very important, the oxygen. We do need a bit extra because the liver is bombarded by about 700,000 toxins on any day, and too much for the liver to deal with. So a bit of extra oxygen helps tremendously. And those who live at high altitudes, of course, also the air is thinner and there's less oxygen as opposed to the sea. So good idea to, on a daily basis maintenance, get some oxygen in. And now we're getting back to the mitochondria, which are bacteria, and I need to produce this energy. And flaxseed oil contains ALA, Very, very, very important for the mitochondria to function properly and to produce energy. ALA will get converted into DHA, and that's also very important for energy. And you're also going to get DHA in spirulina, just by the way, blue-green algae. In fact, it is DHEA. Might as well be DHA. So it's in spirulina as well. So I mentioned spirulina, very important in terms of the whole mitochondrial functioning, the light-emitting effect of the battery of the body. So once the battery's charged, we are emitters of light anyway, and it's potentiated. So we become, highly radiant, magnificently radiant, illuminated. The word is bioluminescence. So you get that at the seaside sometimes. Some animals like octopus, they have a luminescence. And we do too. We just got to get there. And so these are all helping you build with the building blocks. And the mitochondria being a bacteria, the probiotic, the microbiome reset of 365 healthy by choice. There's a gazillion of lights under the microscope. It almost looks like this Christmas tree, the gazillion of lights. And seeing it is just extraordinary. It's breathtaking. So most of these that I've spoken about all radiate and emit light. So I'm really focusing on the photon emitting properties of the nature, and then micronutrients as well, minerals. And once we got that sorted out, well, then I think we can live for free, but we're living on a very high level of consciousness. Can I put it that way? And you find also that light will help to evolve and shift emotions, as well as sound and optical, visual, sono-opto. So that sono-opto electroceutical aspect comes in what I've just spoken about, and then also the NQB device. This is the latest development from the professor, and this one works in the quantum field in real time, in virtual and real time, and adjusts us accordingly. And it's doing what I've just spoken about directly from the quantum field. So that is how you heal. The quantum field, the universal field, the morphogenic field, that is where we're healing from. So I've done the NQB on myself. It's far superior to any other device being developed up until now. Nothing quite like it. 100 years coming back from the future to now. And I've also had people do it on me, and I can feel it when we work on certain places on my body. I can actually feel it. For example, your back, it improves the flexibility, the strain, pain, discomfort, for example. So we need all of this to work in like an orchestra in unison. And what I've been speaking about is probably the furthest thing from any centralized doctor's thoughts, and that's respectfully. But it does just take everything to the next level. And I had a client today. I did speak about her, and I'm not sure if I did speak about her. So she went on to the normal reset program of ours within my high-low program. And she arrived with 12% kidney function. And she'd had this for a couple of years already. So it was down the line. And anyway, a flat battery, because the adrenals sit on top of the kidneys anyway. So it's all there. So extreme adrenal fatigue, which means extremely flat battery, extremely low electrons and low electron charge, and low oxygen, parasites, etc., etc. And where we put on our program, and just wasn't getting the result I was looking for. I just wasn't getting the result I was looking for. And then it just came to me to get this battery charged, because it was so flat. I never realized how flat it was. And we charged this battery with the Ormus Gold, the minerals, Shilajit minerals, spirulina put in there too, DMSO, started unblocking the kidney tubules, and sunlight and earthing. And she gradually, and oxygen, she spontaneously started shifting. But the biggest shift happened when I charged the electrons, and I told her to get in the sunlight, and the sunlight charged the water in her body and took it into the fourth phase of water. And then the mitochondria started releasing the water, and the electrons could take up the oxygen. Do you get that? So the electrons weren't strong enough to utilize the oxygen I was giving her, so she wasn't shifting like normally people shift. But once I'd got these electrons, she came in today, actually, in the middle of my training, and actually spoke to the trainees. It was just by chance she came in, and it was just, miraculous to see her healthy and bubbling and really, really strong. So it was just a matter of a small tweak here and there, and we've got this lady turned around. So I really am celebrating today. Those very difficult, long-standing, chronic cases are, magnificent to turn around. And I'm really honored to have the opportunity to work with people. And so that was what I wanted to share with you today. I'm going to be talking more and more about, the main things that the body needs. And to move out of the mundane and the old and the has-been, and this bottle for sleep, and this bottle for energy, and this bottle for whatever. And so long as you take it, you're more or less okay, and then the effect runs out anyway, and then you're looking for that next bottle and that next bottle. And, you can just have the chat to yourself. Is that what you're chasing? Is that what you're Googling? Is that what's on your YouTube feed? You're in the wrong space. So we need to work, on a much higher level, much higher vibrational level. And the NQB is a vibrational energy device. And the nutrients I've talked about, and nature, it's all on a vibrational level. Nature will feed you too. Nature has electrons that it emits. Just walk through that forest, bare feet preferably. Lots of Ormus when it rains, lots of Ormus at the coast. So that's it for today. I hope you took some good notes, and always lovely to share time with you, and to come in, all my regulars. Thank you so much, and have a good rest of the week. Tomorrow is Black Friday. We've got amazing specials, 30% off all our nutrients. So do stock up. I've really waxed lyrical about these my toolkit. But I really do feel it's a precious range of nutrients, and they're all wonderful, and they all, contribute in their own way. Whether it's paramagnetic rock dust, whether it's alchemical Ormus Gold, whether that's the fermented and second generation fermented microbiome reset, whether it's the levitational DMSO, the oxygen, the minerals, the super foods, spirulinas, medicinal mushrooms, pollens, all put out here for you, and to be able to use, and then to adjust your lifestyle. Good. See you next week.